Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, The Quality Analyst. So in the last videos, we explored the Selenium suite and even simplified the WebDriver architecture. So today we are going to talk about the WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver itself. So what it is, why it's so important, and how it actually works in your automation scripts. So this video will set the foundation for hands-on coding we will be doing in the upcoming sessions. So let's dive in. Okay, so what is Selenium WebDriver? So Selenium WebDriver is not a tool you install separately. It's an interface in Selenium. Okay, so in Java terms, an interface is like a contract. It defines what actions are possible, but doesn't provide the actual implementation. So for example, WebDriver defines the methods like get, find element, find elements, get title, get URL, like get current URL, okay, get page source, all the actions you want to perform on the web browser. So you can think of a WebDriver as a backbone of Selenium automation. So this is about Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so now where does WebDriver fits in Selenium? Okay, so Selenium WebDriver is one of the core interface in the Selenium suite, providing the foundation for browser automation. It also defines set of methods like get title, get page source, get current URL, manage, navigate, etc. So there are a lot of methods which WebDriver provides. So these allow testers to perform the actions on the web application. So WebDriver itself is an interface, meaning it specifies what actions are possible, but relies on implementing classes like ChromeDriver, FirefoxDriver, EdgeDriver to actually interact with the browsers. Okay, so let's see the hierarchy here, like for the WebDriver. So at the base of the WebDriver is the search context interface. Okay, so this is the main base interface which provides the fundamental methods to locate the web element such as find element and find elements. Okay, and WebDriver extends this search context interface, okay, adding advanced browser control capabilities like navigation, window handling, and alert management. Okay, so for distributed or remote testing, we have remote WebDriver serves as the implementation that communicates with the browsers locally or over a network. So for example, when using Selenium Grid, so it translates WebDriver commands into JSON over HTTP protocol, sending them to the appropriate browser driver. So this we have already discussed in the architecture of WebDriver. Okay, you can watch that video. So advanced interfaces like take screenshot and JavaScript executor enhance WebDriver's functionality. So take screenshot allows capturing browser screenshots for debugging or reporting purposes, while the JavaScript executor enables executing JavaScript commands directly in the browser. So useful for actions like scrolling or interacting with the hidden element, so which we will be seeing in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so both this text screenshot and JavaScript executor we will cover in the upcoming sessions. And finally, each browser requires a specific driver. Okay, so if you see here, Chrome driver, Firefox driver, or the Gecko driver, okay, Internet Explorer driver, Opera driver, Safari driver, etc. So which act as a bridge between WebDriver commands and the actual browsers. Okay, so this will interact with the browser. So together these components form the cohesive ecosystem, enabling reliable, fast, and cross-browser automation. Okay, so this is the main WebDriver hierarchy. Okay, so now let's talk about the WebDriver flow, like how it works. Okay, so here is a simple flow of how WebDriver works when we write the script. Okay, so step one, you write a code in Java or any preferred language. Okay, like which will be function for Selenium. Okay, so this code interacts with the WebDriver interface through browser specific implementations like ChromeDriver or GeckoDriver, the browser drivers. The WebDriver then sends the command to the actual browser, which is your application under test. Okay, so the chain looks like first is your Java code, then WebDriver, and then it goes to browser. Okay, so for example, you write driver.get like google.com in Java. WebDriver passes that command to ChromeDriver, and the ChromeDriver makes Chrome browser open that particular website, that is here google.com. So this is how like WebDriver flow works. Okay, so let's move to next slide. So what are the different implementations for WebDriver? Okay, so since WebDriver is an interface, it cannot be used directly. Okay, we cannot create an object of interface, okay, in Java. So we need its implementing classes to run automation. So some common ones are ChromeDriver for Chrome, FirefoxDriver or GeckoDriver for Firefox, EdgeDriver for Edge, Safari driver for Safari, and Opera for like Opera driver for Opera. Okay, so when we write WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver, we are creating an object of ChromeDriver class which implements WebDriver interface and allows us to automate Chrome. Okay, so these are the different implementations. So similarly, if you want to use Firefox browser, then we can use WebDriver driver is equal to new GeckoDriver. Okay, and similarly for other browsers. So now let's discuss about WebDriver as an API. So why it's called as an API? Okay, so WebDriver is also called as an API. That is nothing but an application programming interface. So why? So because it gives a set of predefined methods to interact with the browsers in a programmatic way. Okay, so instead of manually clicking and typing, you just call methods like click, get text, get title, get page source, and WebDriver perform those actions on the browser for you. Okay, so and the best part is the same WebDriver API works across different programming languages and browsers. Okay, so this is a WebDriver API. Okay, so we will discuss in more detail in our future sessions. Okay, so now let's discuss about the key advantages of WebDriver. So again, we have discussed a lot of times these things. So let's quickly highlight why WebDriver is the heart of Selenium automation. Okay, so it works with all major browsers, supports Windows, Mac, and Linux operating systems, allows coding in multiple languages like Java, Python, C#, Ruby. Okay, that communicates directly with the browsers, making it faster and more reliable than older Selenium tools. Provides advanced features such as handling alerts, pop-ups, frames, multiple windows, drag and drop, and many more features are there. Okay, so yeah, this is it for WebDriver. So to summarize today's session, WebDriver is an interface and also act as an API. It is a part of Selenium suite and extends the SearchContext interface. SearchContext interface provides the methods like find element and find elements. The browser specific drivers like ChromeDriver and FirefoxDriver implement WebDriver to actually interact with the browsers. The typical flow is first is your Java code, then it goes to WebDriver, and then it goes to browser, that is your application under test. And thanks to the WebDriver, we can automate browsers across different platforms and languages. So in our next videos, we will get hands-on and write a very first WebDriver script. Also, we will set up Selenium with the Java. Okay, and here is a quick question for you. So if you had to automate right now, which browser would you start with? It is Chrome, Firefox, or Edge, or Safari, or whatever. Okay, so let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.